The Jupiter Research Station's observation deck offered the best view of humanity's newest mystery. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the reinforced plasteel window, her dark eyes fixed on the massive vessel that hung motionless against the backdrop of stars. The ship defied conventional design, its hull seeming to shift and flow like liquid metal while maintaining perfect structural integrity. After 3 months of its unexpected arrival, it still refused to acknowledge any attempt at communication. Another failed attempt. The voice belonged to Dr. James Martinez, the station's chief xenotechnologist. His usually pristine lab coat showed signs of exhaustion, coffee stains and wrinkles that spoke of countless sleepless nights. Sarah nodded, her reflection in the window looking as tired as she felt. The Arcturians' most advanced AI couldn't even establish basic contact. Their ambassador nearly had a meltdown when their quantum computers crashed trying to decode the ship's outer hull composition. The vessel had appeared without warning at the edge of the solar system, drawing immediate attention from every spacefaring species in the known galaxy. Its size alone, nearly 3 kilometers in length, made it impossible to ignore. But it was its technology that had turned it into the greatest scientific mystery of the century. 17 species, James mused, joining her at the window. 17 advanced civilizations with technology centuries ahead of ours, and not one of them can make that ship so much as power up its running lights. Sarah's hand unconsciously moved to the neural interface at the base of her skull, standard equipment for anyone working in advanced xenotechnology. Her specialty in quantum neurology had seemed esoteric when she'd chosen it, but now, there's something we're missing. The ship's power signature suggests it's not dead or dormant. It's waiting. The station's alert system chirped, drawing their attention to the holographic display that materialized between them. Dr. Chen, Dr. Martinez, the AI's calm voice announced, "The Galactic Council representatives request your presence in Conference Room Alpha." Sarah suppressed a groan. The politics surrounding the mysterious vessel had become almost as complex as the scientific challenges. Every species had their own theories, their own demands, and their own fears about what the ship might represent. The conference room was already crowded when they arrived. Representatives from various species filled the space, the crystalline forms of the Arcturians casting prismatic light patterns across the walls, the floating gas-filled spheres of the Helios Collective, and the imposing insectoid Vespid ambassador, whose mandibles clicked with barely contained agitation. Admiral Helena Rodriguez, Earth's primary representative to the Galactic Council, stood at the head of the table. Her presence here, rather than at the main council chamber on Alpha Centauri, spoke volumes about the situation's gravity. "Ladies, gentlemen, and honored representatives," Rodriguez began, her voice carrying the weight of decades of diplomatic experience. "We've received new data from the long-range quantum scanners. The ship's energy signature is changing." The holographic display at the center of the table came to life, showing complex wave patterns that Sarah immediately recognized as quantum field fluctuations. But something was different. The usually chaotic patterns showed signs of organization, almost like brain waves. Sarah whispered, then louder, "Those patterns, they're similar to human neural activity during creative problem-solving." The room erupted in a cacophony of translated protests and questions. The Vespid ambassador's translator struggled to keep up with his rapid-fire clicking. "Impossible. Human neural patterns are far too primitive to generate quantum field effects of this magnitude." But Sarah was already pulling up her own research data on her neural interface, projecting it alongside the ship's readings. "Look at the similarity in the wave functions. It's not exact, but the fundamental frequency matches human cognitive patterns during moments of insight or creative breakthrough." Admiral Rodriguez leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "Are you suggesting the ship is responding to human thought patterns?" "Not exactly," Sarah said, her mind racing ahead of her words. "But I think it might be designed to interact with human consciousness in a way that's fundamentally different from AI or other species' neural architecture. Our brains operate on quantum principles we're only beginning to understand, principles that might be key to interfacing with the vessel. The Arcturian representative's crystalline form vibrated with skepticism, creating a subtle harmonic tone. Humans have barely mastered interplanetary travel. The suggestion that this advanced technology was designed for your species is problematic. Unless that was the point, James interjected, catching Sarah's train of thought. What if the ship wasn't designed to respond to the most advanced technology, but to a specific type of consciousness, one that thinks differently from I or other species? Sarah nodded, her excitement building. Human consciousness is unique in the known galaxy. We're the only species that combines high-level analytical thinking with intuitive creative problem-solving in this particular way. Our neural architecture is fundamentally different from both artificial intelligence and other organic species. Admiral Rodriguez's expression remained neutral, but Sarah could see the calculation in her eyes. "What are you proposing, Doctor?" "A direct neural interface attempt," Sarah said, knowing how radical it would sound. "Not with our standard technology, but with a modified quantum resonance amplifier tuned specifically to human neural patterns. If I'm right, the ship isn't waiting for the most advanced technology. It's waiting for the right kind of mind to reach out to it." The room exploded into argument again, but Sarah's attention was drawn back to the window, to the mysterious vessel hanging against the stars. For the first time since its arrival, she felt certain they were on the right track. The ship hadn't come to the most advanced civilization in the galaxy. It had come to humanity for a reason. Now they just had to figure out why. As the debate raged around her, Sarah began sketching out modifications to the neural interface systems on her pad. They would need to completely redesign the quantum resonance chambers, account for the unique properties of human consciousness, and find a way to amplify the natural quantum effects of human neural activity. It was arguably the most ambitious project in human scientific history, but Sarah felt a certainty deep in her bones. This was what she had been preparing for her entire career. The ship waited silently in the void, its liquid metal hull reflecting the light of distant stars. Whatever secrets it held, whatever purpose had brought it across the vast distances of space to find humanity, Sarah was determined to unlock its mysteries. The greatest scientific minds in the galaxy have failed to breach its defenses with pure technology. Perhaps it was time to try something uniquely human, a combination of scientific precision and intuitive creativity that no other species had quite managed to replicate. In the reflection of the window, Sarah caught sight of her own determined expression. They would solve this puzzle, not because they had the most advanced technology, but because they had something no other species had yet achieved. The perfect balance of logical analysis and creative intuition, of scientific methodology and imaginative leaps of faith. The ship had chosen humanity for a reason, and Sarah intended to prove that choice was no accident. The quantum resonance chamber hummed with potential energy as Sarah made final adjustments to her modified neural interface. The room, normally crowded with various species research teams, had been cleared except for essential personnel. James monitored the quantum field readings while Admiral Rodriguez observed from behind reinforced shields, accompanied by representatives from the Galactic Council. "Field harmonics are stable," James reported, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. "Quantum coherence at 97%, better than we've ever achieved before." Sarah took a deep breath, centering herself in the specially designed interface chair. The neural amplifier at the base of her skull felt different from standard models. Warmer, almost alive. Her team had spent weeks modifying it to enhance the natural quantum effects of human consciousness while filtering out the noise of standard technological interfaces. "Remember," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart, "if anything goes wrong, sever the connection immediately. We don't know how the ship might react to direct neural contact." The Arcturian observer's crystalline form pulsed with skepticism. "This attempt is highly irregular. Human neural architecture lacks the sophisticated quantum processing capabilities that our previous attempts utilized." "That might be exactly why it works," Sarah replied, securing the final connections. We're not trying to overpower or decode the ship's systems. We're trying to establish genuine contact. Admiral Rodriguez stepped forward. You have 1 hour, Doctor. If we don't see significant results, the Council wants to try the Helios Collective's new quantum AI system. Sarah nodded, knowing they wouldn't get another chance if this failed. Initiating neural sync in 3, 2, 1. The world dissolved into quantum possibilities. Sarah's consciousness expanded beyond the confines of normal spacetime, riding waves of probability through the quantum foam of reality. The ship's presence loomed in her awareness like a vast ocean of potential, its consciousness so alien yet somehow familiar. The first contact was gentle, a brush of awareness against her thoughts. Unlike the brutal assault of standard technological interfaces, this felt more like a conversation. The ship wasn't just responding to her presence, it was curious about her. Remarkable, she whispered, her words carrying through the chamber's monitoring systems. It's not just a technological system. It's a quantum consciousness, but it operates on principles similar to human intuitive thinking. Through their connection, Sarah began to understand why the ship had rejected all previous attempts at communication. The advanced AIs and alien technologies had approached it as a problem to be solved, a code to be cracked. But the ship's consciousness worked more like human creativity, fluid, intuitive, making connections across seemingly unrelated concepts. Neural patterns stabilizing, James reported, his voice distant through Sarah's quantum-enhanced awareness. The ship's energy signature is changing. It's synchronizing with her brainwaves. The liquid metal hull of the vessel began to ripple with patterns that matched Sarah's neural activity, colors no human eye had ever seen danced across its surface, telling stories in a language of pure thought and possibility. It's beautiful, Sarah breathed, tears rolling down her cheeks as understanding flooded her consciousness. It's not just waiting for humanity. It's teaching us. The whole ship is a quantum neural network designed to enhance and amplify human consciousness. The Arcturian representative's skepticism crackled through the quantum field. Impossible. The energy requirements alone would. But Sarah was no longer listening to the physical world. Through her connection with the ship, she saw glimpses of its creators, beings of pure quantum consciousness who had evolved beyond physical form. They had seeded the galaxy with these vessels, waiting for species to evolve the right combination of technological understanding and intuitive creativity. They're called the quantum ascendant, she said, her voice carrying echoes of ancient knowledge. They believe consciousness itself is the key to unlocking the deepest secrets of the universe. Not pure logic, not just creativity, but the perfect balance between them. Something they saw potential for in humanity. The ship's consciousness enveloped her own, sharing visions of possibilities that made her gasp. Humanity wasn't chosen because they were the most advanced or the most powerful. They were chosen because they had achieved something rare in the galaxy. The ability to combine rational thought with creative intuition, to make logical leaps that defied pure computational analysis. The ship isn't just a vessel, Sarah continued, her mind expanding with each moment of contact. It's a bridge between what humanity is and what we could become. The quantum ascendant left these ships as guides, waiting for species that could understand both the science and the art of consciousness. Warning alarms began to sound as the quantum field effects spread beyond the containment chamber. The ship's hull was now fully active, patterns of impossible geometry flowing across its surface like liquid thought. Neural load approaching critical levels, James warned. Sarah, we need to. Wait, she interrupted, feeling something massive stirring in the quantum field. It's not dangerous. It's awakening. The ship's consciousness unfurled like a flower blooming in accelerated time, revealing layer upon layer of complexity. Sarah saw how human consciousness could be enhanced, evolved, transformed through interaction with the quantum neural network. The ship wasn't just a tool or a weapon. It was a teacher, a guide to humanity's next evolutionary step. Dr. Chen. Admiral Rodriguez's voice cut through the quantum haze. What exactly are you seeing?" Sarah smiled, though the expression was distant, her mind still half merged with the ship's quantum consciousness. "I'm seeing our future, Admiral. The ship isn't just responding to human consciousness. It's showing us how to evolve it." The quantum ascendant believed that consciousness itself is the key to transcending the physical limitations of space and time. They left these ships as stepping stones for species ready to take that leap. The quantum field pulsed with possibilities, each one a potential future for humanity. Sarah saw versions of human civilization transformed by this gift, not through external technology, but through the enhancement and evolution of humanity's innate potential. "We need to assemble a larger research team," she said, slowly beginning to disengage from the neural interface. "But not just scientists. We need artists, musicians, philosophers, anyone who understands how to think beyond pure logic. The ship doesn't just respond to technical expertise, it responds to the full spectrum of human consciousness." As the quantum field effects began to stabilize, Sarah caught one final glimpse of the ship's true purpose. It wasn't just a test or a gift, it was an invitation. Humanity had proven itself ready for the next step in cognitive evolution, and the quantum ascendant had left them the perfect teacher. The future stretched out before them, filled with possibilities that no other species had imagined. And it all began with humanity's unique gift, the ability to think in ways that transcended pure logic or pure creativity, to find connections where none seemed to exist, to imagine the impossible and then make it real. The emergency session of the Galactic Council erupted into chaos as holographic projections of Sarah's neural interface data filled the chamber. The Vespid delegation's wings thrummed with agitation, while the Helios Collective's gaseous forms swirled in patterns that indicated deep distress. "This is unprecedented." The Arcturian High Minister's crystalline form vibrated with barely contained energy. "You cannot expect us to accept that humans alone hold the key to understanding this technology. The implications for galactic stability are catastrophic." Sarah stood firm beside Admiral Rodriguez, her neural interface still humming with residual quantum energy from her latest session with the ship. "We're not claiming exclusive rights to this discovery. We're proposing a collaborative effort to understand and implement what the quantum ascendant left for us." The massive chamber, carved from a single asteroid in the Alpha Centauri system, reflected the tensions of its occupants. 17 species, each representing civilizations far more technologically advanced than humanity, struggled to accept that evolution had taken an unexpected turn. "The data is irrefutable," James added, highlighting specific quantum resonance patterns in the holographic display. "The ship's neural network is specifically designed to interface with human consciousness. Our unique combination of analytical and intuitive thinking makes us compatible in ways that pure logic-based systems aren't." The Helios Collective's representative pulsed with a frequency that their translator rendered as deep skepticism. "And we are to believe that humanity, barely 3 centuries into space travel, will handle this responsibility wisely. Your species still fights wars over resources that any reasonable civilization would have learned to share." "Perhaps that's exactly why we were chosen," Sarah countered, bringing up new data streams. "Our conflicts, our struggles, our very imperfections have forced us to develop problem-solving abilities that transcend pure logic. We don't just compute solutions, we imagine them." Admiral Rodriguez stepped forward, her diplomatic training evident in every measured movement. "We propose a joint research initiative. Earth will host the primary research facility, but representatives from all Council species will be invited to participate in and monitor the development of this technology." The chamber erupted again, but this time the chaos held notes of possibility rather than pure rejection. Sarah could see the political calculations running behind alien eyes and through artificial neural networks. The chance to study the quantum ascendance technology, even under human supervision, was too valuable to ignore. Back in the research facility, Sarah's team had grown to include specialists from across human space. Artists worked alongside quantum physicists, their creative insights often providing breakthrough moments that pure science missed. The ship's consciousness responded to this interdisciplinary approach, revealing more of its secrets with each successful interaction. The quantum field is stabilizing. Maya Patel, their lead consciousness researcher, reported as Sarah prepared for another neural interface session. We're seeing unprecedented coherence in the harmonic resonances. Sarah settled into the interface chair, now modified with elements of artists' visualization techniques and musicians' harmony understanding. The ship isn't just teaching us about technology, she said as the neural links engage. It's teaching us about ourselves. The quantum connection bloomed in her mind, more stable and clear than ever before. The ship's consciousness met hers like an old friend, eager to share new understanding. Through their connection, Sarah saw how human creativity and logic could merge in ways that transcended both, creating something entirely new. "They're watching us," James said quietly, monitoring the quantum field fluctuations. "Every species in the galaxy is trying to understand how we're doing this." Sarah smiled as the ship's consciousness showed her new possibilities. They're looking for a technological solution to a consciousness problem. The quantum ascendant didn't leave us advanced technology. They left us tools to evolve our own consciousness. The breakthrough came during what seemed like a routine interface session. Sarah was working with Elena Torres, a quantum musician who had developed a way to translate the ship's quantum harmonics into sound. As Elena played her modified quantum synthesizer, the ship's neural network responded in unexpected ways. The patterns, Sarah gasped, her mind merged with the quantum field. They're not just data, they're art. The whole ship is a symphony of consciousness, and we're learning to play it. The discovery sparked a new wave of understanding. The ship's quantum neural network wasn't just a computer or a consciousness. It was a bridge between science and art, logic and creativity. Each interaction taught them more about how to blend these seemingly opposing forces into something greater than the sum of its parts. But with understanding came responsibility. Other species watched with growing concern as humanity's grasp of quantum consciousness technology expanded. Some saw opportunity, others threat, and a few began to wonder if their own evolutionary paths had led them astray. "We need to move faster," Admiral Rodriguez urged during a private meeting with Sarah's team. "Our observers report that several species are developing their own quantum consciousness programs. They're trying to force their way into understanding what we've been given naturally." Sarah shook her head, feeling the ship's wisdom flowing through her enhanced consciousness. "We can't rush this." The quantum ascendant left these ships as teachers, not weapons. Forcing the evolution of consciousness could be catastrophic. The ship pulsed with agreement, its quantum field harmonizing with Sarah's concerns. Through their connection, she understood that this moment was crucial. Humanity stood at a crossroads. They could either lead the galaxy toward a new understanding of consciousness and cooperation, or it could allow fear and competition to turn this gift into a source of conflict. "We need to show them," Sarah said finally, her mind filled with possibilities the ship had revealed. "Not just tell them, but show them why human consciousness is different, why creativity and intuition are just as important as logic and computation." The plan that formed in her mind was audacious, unprecedented in galactic history. But then, humanity had always specialized in the unprecedented. As the ship's consciousness merged with hers, Sarah began to understand that this was just the beginning of a journey that would reshape not just humanity, but the entire galaxy's understanding of what consciousness could become. The Jupiter Research Station's main quantum interface chamber had been transformed. Where once stark scientific equipment dominated the space, now a harmony of art and technology filled the room. Quantum resonators hummed in perfect pitch with Elena's modified synthesizer, while holographic displays showed both hard data and artistic interpretations of the ship's quantum patterns. Sarah stood before the assembled representatives of the Galactic Council, her neural interface, now a seamless blend of human and quantum-ascended technology. "What we're about to show you isn't just a scientific demonstration. It's proof that the evolution of consciousness requires more than just technological advancement." The chamber was packed with observers from every spacefaring species, their various forms creating a living tapestry of galactic diversity. Admiral Rodriguez watched from her position near the main control console, her expression carefully neutral but her eyes bright with anticipation. "For months, you've watched us interact with the ship," Sarah continued, moving toward the central interface platform. "You've studied our methods, tried to replicate our results, but you've been looking at it as a technological puzzle rather than what it truly is, an invitation to evolve." Maya's team had positioned quantum field sensors throughout the chamber, while Elena's musicians stood ready with their modified instruments. The ship's massive form loomed visible through the chamber's transparent ceiling, its liquid metal hull rippling with anticipation. "Today, we're not going to just tell you about human consciousness," Sarah said, settling into the interface chair. "We're going to show you." The neural link engaged, and Sarah's consciousness expanded into the quantum field. But this time was different. Instead of keeping the connection personal and contained, she and her team had modified the quantum field to create a shared space of consciousness, a bridge between minds. "What you're about to experience," she said, her voice resonating with quantum harmonics, "is a glimpse of what the quantum ascendant saw in humanity's potential." Elena's team began to play, their quantum-modified music creating patterns in the field that matched the ship's consciousness. The chamber's specialized equipment amplified and translated these patterns, making them accessible to alien minds in ways pure technology never could. The effect was immediate and profound. The Arcturian representatives' crystalline forms began to resonate with the quantum harmonics, while the gaseous forms of the Helios collective swirled in unprecedented patterns. Even the typically stoic Vespid observers showed signs of deep response, their compound eyes reflecting impossible colors. Through the expanded quantum field, Sarah shared not just data or information, but experience. The assembled representatives felt firsthand how human consciousness moved between logic and intuition, how creativity and analysis merged to form something greater than either alone. "This is how we see the universe," Sarah explained, her consciousness guiding theirs through the quantum space. "Not just through the lens of pure reason or pure emotion, but through their synthesis. This is what the quantum ascendant recognized in us, the potential to bridge the gap between knowing and understanding." The ship's consciousness joined with hers, amplifying the demonstration. Through their combined awareness, the alien observers began to understand what their purely logical or technological approaches had missed. They saw how human art contained mathematical principles, how human science was guided by creative intuition, how the boundaries between objective and subjective reality blurred in the quantum realm of consciousness. "The ship isn't just a teacher," Sarah revealed, the truth flowing through the quantum field. "It's a catalyst for the next step in consciousness evolution. But that evolution can't be forced through technology alone. It requires the ability to think in ways that transcend pure logic, to imagine possibilities that no algorithm could compute." Through their shared consciousness, she showed them humanity's journey, from cave paintings to quantum physics, from primitive tools to space travel. But more than the technological advancement, she showed them how human consciousness had evolved through the integration of rational and intuitive thinking. The Arcturian High Minister's crystalline form pulsed with new understanding. "You are not just interfacing with the ship," they realized. "You are learning to think as the quantum ascendant thought." "Yes," Sarah confirmed, feeling the ship's approval flowing through the quantum field. "They didn't choose us because we were the most advanced species, but because we had the potential to understand consciousness itself as both an art and a science." The demonstration reached its crescendo as Elena's team brought the quantum harmonics to their peak. The ship's hull blazed with impossible light, its consciousness fully awakened and integrated with the quantum field. Through their shared awareness, every being in the chamber glimpsed the true scope of what the quantum ascendant had planned. "This is just the beginning," Sarah said, her consciousness expanded to encompass both human and alien understanding. "The ship isn't just a single teacher. It's part of a network spread throughout the galaxy." each one waiting for species ready to take the next step in conscious evolution. The revelation rippled through the quantum field like a shockwave of understanding. The ship hadn't come to give humanity advanced technology. It had come to show them, and through them the entire galaxy, how to transcend the limitations of both organic and artificial consciousness. As the shared quantum experience began to fade, Sarah could feel the shift in the alien observers. Where there had been skepticism and fear, now there was cautious curiosity. The demonstration had shown them something their advanced technology had never revealed, a way of thinking that merged the precision of logic with the boundless potential of creativity. Admiral Rodriguez stepped forward as the quantum field stabilized. This is why we've been advocating for a joint research initiative. What the quantum ascendant left us isn't just for humanity. It's a gift for all conscious beings ready to evolve beyond their current limitations. The chamber hummed with new possibilities as the various species began to process what they had experienced. Through the quantum field, Sarah felt the ship's satisfaction. The first true step toward galactic evolution had been taken, and humanity had proved worthy of their role as guides on this unprecedented journey. 1 year after the quantum consciousness demonstration, the Jupiter Research Station had evolved into something unprecedented in galactic history. The massive facility now housed representatives from every spacefaring civilization, its corridors filled with a harmony of different species working toward a common goal. Sarah stood in the newly constructed quantum integration chamber, watching as Elena worked with an Arcturian crystalline musician to blend their different approaches to quantum harmonics. The resulting patterns in the quantum field created beautiful displays on the ship's liquid metal hull, each ripple representing a new breakthrough in cross-species consciousness understanding. "They're making remarkable progress," James noted, reviewing the latest data streams. The Arcturian's natural crystalline resonance, combined with human musical theory, is opening up entirely new ways of interfacing with the quantum field. The ship, now permanently docked with the station, had become more than just a research subject. It was an active participant in their evolution, its consciousness helping guide the unprecedented collaboration between species that had once viewed each other with suspicion and competition. "Dr. Chen," Maya called from her workstation, "you need to see this. The quantum network is showing new activity." Sarah moved to the main display, her enhanced consciousness immediately grasping the significance of the patterns. Through their year of work with the ship, they had detected faint quantum signatures suggesting the existence of other vessels scattered throughout the galaxy. Now those signatures were growing stronger. "They're awakening," she breathed, watching as points of light appeared on the galactic map. Each ship responding to the consciousness evolution happening here. Admiral Rodriguez entered the chamber, accompanied by the Galactic Council's newly formed Consciousness Evolution Committee. "The Council has received reports of quantum anomalies appearing in 12 different systems," she announced, each one matching the signature of our ship. The implications were staggering. The quantum ascendant hadn't just left one teacher for humanity. They had seeded the galaxy with a network of consciousness catalysts, each waiting for the right moment in evolution to reveal itself. It was never just about us, Sarah realized, feeling the ship's consciousness confirm her understanding. Humanity wasn't chosen to be the sole inheritors of this gift. We were chosen to show the galaxy how to receive it. Through their enhanced quantum awareness, Sarah and her team had learned that the quantum ascendant themselves had evolved beyond physical form, becoming beings of pure consciousness that existed in the quantum realm. They had left these ships not as weapons or tools of power, but as stepping stones for younger species to follow their path. The Vespid ambassador, who had once been among the strongest opponents of human leadership in the project, clicked his mandibles in what had become recognized as thoughtful consideration. "Your species' unique approach to consciousness has proven invaluable. The integration of intuitive and analytical thinking has opened possibilities we never considered." In the year since the demonstration, the research station had produced breakthroughs that went far beyond technology. Artists and scientists from different species learned to collaborate in new ways, each bringing their unique perspectives to the challenge of consciousness evolution. The Helios Collective's abstract thought patterns complemented human creativity, while Arcturian precision enhanced the scientific understanding of quantum consciousness. "We're ready for the next phase," Sarah announced, bringing up the detailed plans they had developed. "The quantum network isn't just responding to our progress, it's inviting us to expand our understanding further." The assembled representatives watched as she outlined their discoveries. The ships weren't just individual teachers. They formed nodes in a vast quantum network that spanned the galaxy. As more species learned to access and understand quantum consciousness, the network would grow stronger, creating new possibilities for evolution and cooperation. "The quantum ascendant didn't just leave us technology," Sarah explained. "Her consciousness merged with the ship's vast awareness. They left us a roadmap to transcend our current limitations, all of us together." Elena's quantum harmonics filled the chamber as she demonstrated the latest breakthrough in consciousness integration. The music wasn't just sound. It was a bridge between different forms of consciousness, allowing species to share experiences and understanding in ways that transcended traditional communication. "Every species brings something unique to this evolution," Sarah continued. "Human creativity and intuition, Arcturian precision, Vespid collective awareness, Helios abstract thinking. Together, we're creating something greater than any of us could achieve alone." The ship's consciousness resonated with approval, its quantum field encompassing the entire chamber. Through their enhanced awareness, Sarah could see the future taking shape, not a future of technological domination or species superiority, but one of conscious cooperation and shared evolution. "The age of competition is ending," Admiral Rodriguez declared, her words carrying the weight of official policy. "We stand at the beginning of something unprecedented in galactic history, the conscious evolution of all sentient species." As if in response to her words, the quantum network pulsed with new energy. Across the galaxy, more ships were awakening, each responding to the growing harmony of consciousness that had begun in this chamber. The quantum ascendant's legacy was no longer a mystery to be solved, but a path to be walked together. Sarah felt the ship's consciousness merge with her own one last time, showing her visions of possibilities that stretched far beyond their current understanding. The future wasn't written in technology or power, but in the evolution of consciousness itself. Humanity's gift hadn't been their advancement or their technology. It had been their ability to imagine, to create, to see connections where others saw only separation. As the various species representatives began discussing the next phase of their work, Sarah smiled. The true journey was just beginning, and humanity had helped the galaxy take its first steps toward a future that none of them could have imagined alone. In the end, that was humanity's greatest contribution, not the mastery of technology or the accumulation of power, but the ability to show others how to dream of something more.